ABC Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Memphis Egyptians and the Atlanta Falcons. One-loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. A fairly short kick from the 14, and he returns this to the 22. Now a play fake here on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. We know that he can get first downs with his arm and his legs, Charles, and there when he gets outside of the pocket, the defense has to account for both, and he's able to complete it for the first.
And he's very comfortable outside of the pocket. Some quarterbacks, that's not their thing. For him, that seems to be the #1 asset to his game. Gets out into the open field, things seem to break down the secondary a little bit, and he picks out the right target.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The Falcons had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking to throw on second down. Prescott. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Egyptians take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Hills
takes it to about the 37. I've heard you say that so much of being a great inside linebacker is diagnosis, and that time he diagnosed things instantly, made a beeline for the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Going to run again here with Pollard. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick. Thus, inaccurate, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. In motion comes the tight end left.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll swing this complete out to Hill.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Prescott now from the 50. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
He's got room at the 30.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott on the move to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Prescott. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll send the tight end in motion.
Again, it's Johnson.
Touchdown! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Egyptians have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Let's go.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends.
Now a handoff up the middle. Hills, by the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit.
And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he'll go down at the 28. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They'll run it. This is James Robinson. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From way up at the 23. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but
you don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll set up a throw. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Taken in at the 22. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. Hey, as the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rip, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
46.
Prescott from the gun. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Falcon football.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll throw now on the final play. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And going deep for Hill. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On second down now, Hills. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here we go on fourth down. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Up the middle they go. Hills looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
This will be fielded at the 17. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. He finds his man, complete. That's Munoz. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left.
Pollard. Touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From way up at the 23.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Grant Delpit.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From way up at the 23. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And now here is another interception. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
59 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Throwing, Prescott. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Egyptians get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now a give right side. Hills. And this will be a Falcons first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Prescott now on second down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They'll run left with Pollard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
65 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, it's Pollard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense.
And now here is another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Micah Parsons.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This take.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Falcons grab it. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Well, Prescott here to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
He's got a man, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Falcons 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get